Alright, so do you want to introduce yourself first?
My name is Amber. I own Celandine Vintage here in Woodlawn neighborhood. I always wanted to be a business owner, and I always wanted to make an impact in that way where I could control how things were sourced, how all of those processes were done. And I've always loved thrifting because, you know, I've always loved buying things used before I go to buy something new. And then I just realized one day, oh, other people want this too, and some people don't have time to be scouring through bins of garbage and dusty thrift stores. So yeah, just decided to bring it to people. In a huge way. Everything has a story. If you buy something new from the store, it had to travel a really long way to get to you, and then its story doesn't end after you're done using it. If you decide to donate it, it can be put in someone else's hands, but if you don't decide to donate it and throw it away, then it just ends up going into a landfill or to undeveloped countries where it could potentially lose its purpose and end up just sitting in the ground for thousands of years. So buying used, you end up extending that thing's story and end up reducing its lifetime in the landfill. First of all, fast fashion is fast not only in the way that it's made, but in how long it's going to last as far as its quality. So if you're buying vintage, somehow they were just able to, clothes weren't being made in factories and being mass produced, so there was care and time taken into making these things. And you put on a pair of vintage jeans and they're just as sturdy as when they were first made, and they're, I don't know, when you put on a pair of jeans that, you buy a pair of jeans from H&M and they just never last as long, they never hold their quality. And moving away from fast fashion, you're gonna find things that are way higher quality, and you're not ever gonna want to throw it away. You're gonna want to repair it and mend it. I want to drill in the importance of really supporting small businesses and finding those areas in your community or creating them, and bringing good things to people is so important, and contributing to your community is so important. And I don't know, Woodlawn is such a small, tight-knit neighborhood that I feel like it's easy in some ways here.
So zero waste living is adopting a mindset where you don't create any trash and you try your best not to utilize any plastics. There's so many resources going into creating plastics. It leaches toxins into the environment. It's a hormone disruptor. It has cancer-causing chemicals, and plastic pollution is one of the big downfalls of humanity right now. Millions of species are dying on single-use plastics every day, and it ruins the integrity of the environment. So we alone, if we reduce single-use plastics, can alleviate so many issues that humanity faces, all in one choice. Another thing that I want to add is what really inspired me to keep going with this is the amount of time it takes for plastic to downgrade in a landfill, which would be 500 to thousands of years. And I find that crazy that we've created a material that's going to outlive my children and their children and their children and their children. So as complicated as it sounds, there are actually only 3 or 4 items you can bring to massively reduce your plastic consumption. Every day before I leave the house, I ask myself if I have my keys, do I have my wallet, do I have my cloth produce bags, my tote, and a jar. And instead of using the to-go cups or plastic water bottles, you have your own bottle or a cup. And for a tote, you're switching out plastic bags. And then I bring cloth produce bags with me just in case I'm hungry and I buy in bulk, or I swap out the plastic produce bags for my own bags. And just with that alone, you can reduce 80 to 90% of all plastic when you're grocery shopping or when you're on the go. And I think a really big question that we all ask is this really gonna make a difference? Is one person going to make a difference? And I'm gonna say a big fat yes, because I like to think that all of my actions can be multiplied by the 7 billion people are in the world. So we have to remember that we work as a community. And the snowball effect is very real. And when I say the snowball effect is very real, what I mean is there's so many times that I've gone out and I've had totes and I've got my cloth produce bags, and people see me and they realize that that's such a better option, and then they switch too, and it just keeps going. So every action really does make a huge difference. Every single action makes a difference, and the best thing that we can do is not beat ourselves up and to try our best every day. And in doing that, we become more fulfilled and more inspired by the next action we take. And I truly, truly believe with all of my heart that both you and I can save our planet from the destruction that we face. We can alleviate plastic pollution, overflowing landfills, deforestation, acidifying oceans, and other resource-sucking productions just by our actions every single day.